What's going on, Nerd Squad, and welcome back. I'm your host for today, Taylor McWatters, and I'm so excited that we're back in the studio, no longer in my closet doing videos, which is great because now I can move around and yell and not wake babies up next door. This is great. So last May, Zack Snyder did an online screening for Man of Steel, and then he confirmed that the Snyder Cut is real and it is coming. So we've been seeing tweets that say hashtag release the Snyder Cut being posted on Twitter by the actual cast members. Like, it got to that point where they themselves were like, hey, I would love to see this movie that I filmed like 4 years ago, let's do it. And now it is finally coming to HBO Max March 18th. But what can we expect? What's different? What's the big deal? Well, we can expect to see quite a bit. And here are the top 10 things we want to see in the Justice League Snyder Cut. Let's do it. Number 10, Nightmare Sequence. So the original Nightmare sequence was one of the coolest movie moments that I've been a part of in theaters. When the Flash showed up afterwards, that was just, it was the cherry on top. Papers flying around, it was so cool. So it was clear that this was more than just a dream. Like that song, you know the song, it's in your head now. What's that song? More than just a dream. Nelly, yeah, Nelly. Nelly, if you're watching this, good shout out there for you. There you go. So with the Snyder Cut coming, we know we're expecting to see an extended version of this. Well, rather a totally different version, it seems. So already, just in that little clip, we see 3 other characters added to the scene. We see the Flash, Deathstroke, Cyborg, and the Joker, and who knows how many more are gonna show up. And before we continue on to number 9, if you guys could go ahead down below and give us a thumbs up on this video because it really does help us out in our studio quite a bit. You nerds are the best. Thank you so much for watching. Now back to the list. Number 9, more Flash. So we saw Billy Crudup play Barry's father in the Justice League, but he only had like a minute of screen time or something insane like that, literally like 1 minute. So with more hours added to the movie, giving it a total runtime of 4 hours now, we can expect to see more of Barry's personal life and his father's wrongful incarceration. So Zack Snyder has teased us and said that this Flash is going to do something quite extraordinary with his powers. So whatever it is, I don't care, I'm in. I want to see anything to do with the Flash. Show us everything you have. Like, if this movie was 6 hours, I wouldn't flinch. I would be like, start. And then I wouldn't move for 6 hours, that's it. We could also look forward to seeing Kiersey Clemons make her debut as Iris West, which is super exciting. We got a deleted scene with her back in 2017, but it was just so small. And it wasn't even done yet. It looked kinda, you know, take a look. But when Joss Whedon was called in to finish the original movie, she wasn't asked to go back and film anything else. But now we get to see that scene with a little extra love this time around.
After I'm faster than you've ever attempted.
I love how he just books it after, like he's like, hey, no problem, we're meant to be together. Gone. They're a cute couple, at least Zack Snyder seemed to think so when he posted this a couple years ago. Number 8, Black Suit Superman. In one of the trailers for the original release, there was one scene in particular that I remember debating with my nerd buddies for like weeks. It was the shot of Alfred turning around and talking to somebody, and he says the following.
You said you'd come. Now let's hope you're not too late.
So who is he talking to? We didn't get to see in the movie, so that's awesome. But I remember we were arguing about seeing a green reflection in Jeremy Irons' glasses, and that how it's gonna be like Green Lantern coming in. That's how picky we got with this one little clip. So who he's talking to here is Superman in his iconic black suit.
Assuming you're Alfred.
This is awesome. The black suit is referred to as the recovery suit in the comics. See, Superman first dons it after coming out of the Kryptonian regeneration matrix, so we're gonna see the service robots from the Fortress of Solitude suit our man Henry Cavill up. Now, he wears this suit when his power is running low, so sometimes his power is so low that he needs rocket boots in order to fly, which would be pretty amazing if that was included in the movie, although I doubt that this would be the case. He would look like Incrediboy, but just more handsome. Henry Cavill has confirmed himself that he didn't do any reshoots for Zack Snyder's Justice League. And honestly, that's fine with us. There's probably enough existing footage already, and after the whole mustache debacle thing, that's more than fair. More than fair. Number 7, Lex and Deathstroke.
We have to level the playing field, Mr. Wilson. To put it plainly, shouldn't we have a league of our own?
So that was the after credit scene for the Joss Whedon cut of the film with Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor and Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke. It was actually really exciting seeing that after the Whedon cut. The theater went nuts. We're like, yeah, number 2 is gonna be sick. These guys are amazing. But it never happened. We haven't gotten anything with them since, so instead of seeing him in a sequel, we can just look forward to seeing him in, an actual better version of the film. So that works just as well. He was originally meant to be there rather than just a post-credits stinger anyway, so I'm here for it. Number 6, Cyborg's origin. Okay, when we first got the trailer for the first Justice League, we saw some pretty cool shots of Victor Stone, played by Ray Fisher, in what was clearly part of an origin sequence. So Ray Fisher had some great origin scenes that were cut out, including him doing a sick deke during a football game, which just looks like a beautiful scene to watch in general. I mean, the snow, the shots, the angles, it's very Snyder. I loved it. It was actually really sad that this whole thing was scrapped from the movie. Now, Snyder deemed that Cyborg's origin made him the heart of the movie, so I'm glad we're gonna finally see that. The world can use some heart, and we can always use some more Ray Fisher as well. Number 5, Joker's return.
Where honor is a distant memory. Isn't that right? Batman.
Okay, so Jared Leto is back in action, and I'm not really sure how to feel about this. I put that whole Suicide Squad movie away. I locked it up in this memory box and then just kind of tossed it back in the back of my brain. So to see him back in this movie, it's kind of like seeing an ex show up at a party, only now they look better. Now they're wearing like Uggs that aren't crooked, like they look good. Their back is straight, they look good, they've been drinking water. This looks like it's from the Nightmare sequence, so I'm actually pretty pumped to see Jared Leto go for it again. To see him in this post-apocalyptic nightmare in full makeup, I mean, I can't even imagine what kind of Joker we're gonna get. Even from the trailer, he tells Batman, we live in a society. So it's gonna be pretty deep. Snyder says it's important for him and Batman to have a proper confrontation, and this looks like we'll finally get that. Number 4, DARKSEID and Co. A villain who was originally meant to be in the original cut of the movie, DARKSEID, Darkseid's right-hand man. See, we only see glimpses of him in the Snyder Cut trailer, but already he looks pretty menacing. So DARKSEID is an ancient new god and a member of the Apocalyptic priests, being loyal to, of course, Darkseid. Now, he helped out Steppenwolf back in the original Justice League, and on top of this, we also get a new look for Steppenwolf as well, which is sweet, because he looks so badass now.
We do this together.
He was played by Kieran Hines in the first movie, and it just wasn't quite scary enough. It wasn't badass enough. It wasn't menacing enough. I mean, compared to that quick glimpse we just got, it's already looking way better. He looks great. And we also get a quick little sneak peek of Granny Goodness. She's this cruel tormentor. She's the leader of the female Furies, and she's clearly on Darkseid's good side, being one of his loyal lieutenants that we're looking forward to seeing as well. Number 3, more Aquaman. Yeah, for starters, more Mara. I mean, she was in the trailer for the original 2017 movie, and then in the final product, she had less than a minute of screen time. Less than a minute. That's like how long I could hold my breath in total. That's crazy. This was also the movie that introduced her as Mara. I mean, yeah, we got more of her down the road later on in Aquaman, but for fans who were going to the theater and were pumped to see some underwater action for the first time, they only got like a quick mother box scene, and then that was it, on to the next thing. In the Snyder Cut, it's promised that there will be more of an Atlantean backstory, with Amber Heard and Willem Dafoe reported to have shot more footage that was ultimately scrapped. More Willem Dafoe, yeah, always. I think we need more Willem Dafoe in here as well, yeah. Number 2, Darkseid. The time has come. The big bad of the DC Extended Universe, Darkseid, is finally coming. See, we got a tease from him way back in the first Nightmare sequence in Batman vs Superman. That symbol there on the ground, that's the Omega symbol. That belongs to Darkseid. And it's basically the signature of death. Darkseid gets his powers from an energy called the Omega effect. And it basically gives him the ability to emit Omega beams out of his eyes. And it's as scary as it sounds. See, he usually never misses on top of that, and he's been known to actually catch the Flash with those laser eyes. So while that served mostly as a teaser to Darkseid and the movie that ended up having Steppenwolf as the central villain, this time around with the Snyder Cut, we're seeing much more of him. Ray Porter is set to play him in the Snyder Cut, and by what we've seen in the trailers, he looks super intimidating. Like, this looks actually really promising. And finally, number 1, the introduction of Martian Manhunter. When promotional material started to drop for the Justice League Whedon version, the phrase "Unite the Seven" was widely spread. And we do some quick maths and we're down a superhero, it seems. Martian Manhunter was actually meant to appear years back in the original movie, but again, he was cut from the final product. An entire hero cut. That's like cutting Hawkeye out of Avengers. Well, actually, he wasn't in Avengers, so I see how that feels. Harry Lennox played General Swanwick in Man of Steel, and he was supposed to play the same character in Justice League, but he didn't make the final cut. A big fan theory back then was that he's actually John Jones, aka Martian Manhunter, in disguise. Now, Zack Snyder has confirmed that this Unite the Seven was not Unite the Seven Seas. No. This was Unite the Seven that included Martian Manhunter, as he was supposed to have more disguises, actually. So a storyboard was revealed back in 2019 from Snyder, revealing John Jones. So it looks like we'll finally get this scene, only with a sweet reveal after Martha leaves. Well guys, there you have it. What are you looking forward to seeing the most with the Snyder Cut? Let us know in the comments down below. I've been your host, Taylor McWatters. Thanks for tuning in to Top 10 Nerd, and we'll catch you next time. Deuces.